Hi, I'm Jay from the Flutter community team.
Hi, I'm Martin from CodeMagic. I do business and product.
Cool, yeah. At DroidCon day 2 still, and having a great time. How about you?
DroidCon's great. You think you've met all the Flutter community, but there's actually a lot of other developers here as well.
Yeah, definitely. There's more people showing up than I could have ever imagined as far as the community goes. So tell me a little bit about what you do at CodeMagic.
Yeah, sure. So at CodeMagic, my role is business development as well as product management as well. So in the beginning, I was mostly focusing on business. So making sure that the community knows CodeMagic, making sure we're communicating the right message, understanding what the community needs. And once that was done, I could kind of lay off on that and focus more on the product. So making sure that we are developing the features that the community is asking for.
Right.
So prioritizing this and product management in that sense.
Okay, interesting. And how did you, were you there when CodeMagic was originally made a thing?
So originally they started development on it in August.
Okay.
Before that, we already supported Flutter on Nevercode. And interesting enough, the inception you can trace it back to this same event last year.
Oh, really?
Because this is where we first heard about Flutter, and then we did an MVP on Nevercode, and then in August we tweeted out that we support Flutter, and then Tim Sneath replied to this tweet, and then we formed a partnership and started developing CodeMagic, and it was launched in December together with Flutter 1.0.
Oh, that's a really fast development cycle.
Yeah,
wow.
It was really fast.
Yeah. Damn.
The
Good
time
stuff.
pressure was on us, but we had all this experience from before, so we just pushed the whole team and we made it across the finish
Made
line.
it happen. Awesome, yeah.
I remember there was a cool story when the founders, they went to Mountain View, and when we did our first demo of CodeMagic, we relied only on GitHub, but GitHub was down the same day that we were supposed to do the demo.
No way.
But luckily, right before that, it got back up, so they were able to do the demo, right? So
wow,
it went okay.
What a heart attack moment.
Yeah.
Dang, yeah, I think I can remember something about GitHub, indeed, around that time period. Wow, that's interesting, damn. Yeah, I'd never heard about that. Damn. So can you tell me a little bit about how you ended up working at Nevercode?
So, I'm actually a chemist by trade. I have a master's in chemistry, but I went into mobile development. I made a startup, a backpacking app. That failed. I went into corporate. I was working at Ernst & Young, and I knew the founders of Nevercode, and they called me one evening and said, like, Martin, I need you. And then I was fed up with the corporate environment. I'm a huge driver, so I like to just do what comes to mind. And if I have crazy ideas, I want to be able to execute them. And at Nevercode, I can do that, which is quite nice. You live in you kind of break away from the shackles. And I joined in November, so I've been there for about 8.5 months or something like this, yeah.
Okay, that's how I ended up there. That's interesting. Cool story, though. And so you've been involved in the business and product until then. So what are you doing with CodeMagic at events like these then? Just introducing people to the concept? Or?
Yeah, so at DroidCon right now, our goal was to better enforce get a better position in the community, meet the community, because I strongly believe that if you make friends in the community, don't try to sell them anything, but just try to understand them, try to help them. Like, that's why we sponsor a lot of meetups as well. Then the community will be good to you in return as well. It's very helpful for us in our product development. But in DroidCon specifically, we're sponsoring the event. I'm speaking about how Android developers, when they go to cross-platform and Flutter specifically, why are their iOS builds slow? And also what you can do about it, and what we as a CI service do about it. And we're also talking to companies that are interested in Flutter, or experimenting with Flutter, and trying to understand why they are experimenting and what makes them interested, and then see if CodeMagic is a good fit for them.
Right, awesome. And so CodeMagic now also supports Flutter Web,
yes.
Although it's still in early stages, of course. So what can CodeMagic offer programmers as far as Flutter Web CI goes and CD?
Yeah, sure. So we offer out-of-the-box builds, publishing and testing for Flutter on all platforms, so mobile, iOS, Android, and as well as the web as well. So developers can, for example, if they do have Flutter running on different platforms like iOS, Android, and the web, like Droidcon app, for example, that Rohan made from Delivery Hero, then they can set up 3 workflows, for example, one for Android, one for iOS, and one for the web, and then they can release and build and test Flutter on all platforms at the same time. So they don't have to build it on their local machines, so they don't have to do extra configurations on CI services. They can just build it out of the box.
Awesome. And so any plans, maybe not now, but for the future, to support all the other platforms as well, such as desktop, Mac, Linux, Windows, that kind of thing?
Essentially, you can do that right now as well, because at the end of the day, you do have control over our Mac that's running your builds. You can run into that and write your own scripts, because there is an embedder for it. You can build Flutter apps for desktop. Out-of-the-box solutions, right now, we don't have it in our roadmap. In the near future, maybe later, we will add it, but at the moment, as it stands, we don't support it out of the box. What we will do is we're going to release a codemagic.yaml file that you can configure CI as code. So if you do have this out-of-the-box support, you can export it and then configure it as code as well.
Awesome.
So potentially this is a good place where you can support desktop as well, for example, if you do want to release on desktop or test for desktop.
Sounds good. Any other features that we might want to be for the lookout for?
We're going to make a community doc, so CodeMagic documentation, open for the community. We're going to have support on GitHub rather than our Slack channel, so we're going to move to GitHub so it's more open. We're going to have SSH access to our builder machines, so when the build is going, you're building your applications, you can SSH into the Mac or remote access basically, and you can use the terminal to debug or see the complete logs for your files.
That's cool. Yeah, that sounds like great features, all of them, stuff like that.
Thanks.
Having the open workflow, just like the Flutter SDK and Dart does, and being able to actually see and take control with that SSH stuff. Awesome. Well, sounds good.
Thanks.
Well, any plans for yourself for the future? Just keep working at CodeMagic and doing what you do.
Of course.
Yeah.
CodeMagic is great. We're gonna go to. I'm excited about South America. We're gonna go to South America in August, because South America is one of our biggest markets as well. So I haven't been there yet, so it'd be nice to understand what Flutter is like over there, what people are interested in, and what drives businesses to use Flutter in South America.
Cool. Awesome. Well, wish you all the best of luck on your trip then.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here.
Cheers.
And thank you for watching. You can view more of Flutter Community at the links that you see on screen right now, and we'll talk to you later. Yeah, thanks man.